What if something could take over your mind, not influence it, not manipulate it, actually hijack it, rewriting your behavior, controlling your movements, steering your body like a vehicle while you are still inside it? Science fiction? No, this is happening right now. In the rainforests of Brazil, Thailand, and West Africa, a fungus called Ophiocordyceps unilateralis is doing exactly this to ants. And the process is so precise, so calculated, so horrifyingly intelligent that scientists still don't fully understand how it works. This is your life as a zombie ant. You are born into purpose. You emerge into a world that already has a plan for you. You are a carpenter ant, Camponotus leonardi, and from the moment you are born, the colony is everything. You have a role, you have a function, you are a worker, and that means your entire existence is structured around the survival of something larger than yourself. The rainforest floor is your world. You follow pheromone trails laid down by your sisters, navigating a landscape of roots and leaves and soil with the kind of precision that makes even the most advanced GPS system look clumsy. You communicate without words. You cooperate without meetings. The colony operates as a single superorganism, and you are one small but essential part of it. Life is structured. Life is purposeful. And then something goes wrong. The invasion begins. You don't feel it happen. That is the most terrifying part. A microscopic spore, smaller than a grain of dust, lands on your exoskeleton somewhere on the forest floor. It could have been anywhere. A fallen leaf, a patch of soil, a trail you have walked 100 times. The spore attaches. It begins to grow. And what happens next is one of the most extraordinary and disturbing processes in all of nature. The fungus does not infect your brain. This is what confused scientists for decades. Instead, it infiltrates your muscles, the fibers that control your movement, and begins releasing chemical compounds that interfere with your nervous system from the outside in. It is not controlling your thoughts. It is controlling your body while you are still inside it. Imagine being a passenger in your own body, watching your legs move in directions you did not choose. That is your life now. The walk you cannot stop. Here is where it gets truly unsettling. The fungus has one destination in mind, not food, not the colony, a specific leaf at a specific height, usually between 25 and 30 centimeters above the forest floor, not higher, not lower. The temperature and humidity at exactly that height are optimal for what the fungus needs to do next. Your body walks there, you climb, you find the leaf. And then, in a behavior that has never been observed in healthy ants, you bite down on the central vein of the leaf with a force so strong it leaves marks in the plant tissue that paleontologists have found in fossils 48 million years old. This has been happening since before humans existed. The fungus has been perfecting this process for longer than our entire species has been alive. You lock your jaw, you cannot release it, and you wait. The colony notices. Back in the colony, something has already been set in motion. Other ants, your sisters, began sensing something was wrong with you before you even left. Research has shown that infected ants are identified and carried away from the colony by healthy workers, sometimes while the infection is still in its early stages. The colony's collective intelligence detected the threat before any individual ant could. This is not cruelty. This is survival. The colony cannot afford an outbreak. A single infected ant represents an existential risk to thousands, so they remove you, they carry you to the outskirts and leave you there, alone. Whether you experience something like confusion in those final hours, whether there is any flicker of the ant you were before the fungus arrived, science cannot yet tell us. But the colony moves on. It always moves on. The fruiting body. You die locked to that leaf. And what happens next is where the fungus reveals its true purpose. A stalk begins to grow from the back of your head. Slowly at first, then with increasing speed, it pushes upward through your exoskeleton. It grows several centimeters tall, and at the tip of that stalk, a capsule forms, packed with millions of new spores, positioned at exactly the right height to be caught by air currents moving through the forest floor. The fungus has used your body as a platform, a launching pad, a vehicle for its own reproduction. You were never the target, you were the tool. And now the spores begin to fall, drifting down onto the trails below, onto the forest floor where other ants walk, onto the leaves where other colonies forage. The cycle begins again. The forest knows. Here is something that makes this even more extraordinary. The rainforest has adapted around the zombie ant fungus. Ants have developed collective behaviors specifically in response to it. Some species have learned to recognize infected nestmates earlier. Others have developed grooming rituals designed to remove spores before they can penetrate the exoskeleton. The forest floor is an arms race between a fungus that has spent millions of years perfecting mind control and colonies that have spent millions of years learning to survive it. And the fungus itself has evolved with restraint. Studies have shown that Ophiocordyceps rarely wipes out entire colonies. It takes enough hosts to reproduce, but not so many that it destroys its own food source. It is not mindless, it is not random, it is calibrated. A parasite that has learned over millions of years of evolution exactly how much to take without taking everything, which, if you think about it, is its own kind of intelligence. What it means: you lived a short life. Most worker ants do. But your life as a zombie ant raises questions that go far beyond the rainforest floor. What does it mean to be in control of your own body? What does identity mean when something external can rewrite your behavior completely without touching your brain? Scientists studying Ophiocordyceps are not just learning about ants. They are learning about how behavior can be chemically manipulated at a muscular level. Research that has implications for neuroscience, pharmacology, and our understanding of free will itself. A fungus with no brain, no nervous system, no intelligence as we understand it, has developed a more sophisticated system of behavioral manipulation than almost anything else on the planet. It found a way to turn another living creature into a vessel for its own survival, and it has been doing it since before the first humans looked up at the stars and wondered if they were alone. You were an ant. You had a role, a colony, a purpose. And then something smaller than a grain of dust found you on the forest floor and rewrote everything. The zombie ant fungus is not a horror story. It is a reminder that nature does not play by our rules, that intelligence takes forms we are only beginning to understand, and that somewhere on the rainforest floor right now, an ant is taking a walk it did not choose, climbing a leaf it did not plan to climb, and locking its jaw for the last time. The forest keeps moving, the spores keep falling, and the cycle that started 48 million years ago continues, with or without us watching.